Job hunt and information video. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters. In today's video we are going to do a job hunt and we are going to answer a viewer's question that wanted to know about getting a role on the surface. So to start with, we'll jump over first like we normally do with these videos and try and get a grasp on where the truck driving jobs are. So if you put mining truck in, you will see that the majority of these jobs that come up are underground jobs. There's a few experienced surface truck driving jobs in there, but the majority of jobs are entry level underground. So what I try and tell people with all this is that the jobs have moved. 2.5 years ago, all these, this first page would be full of jobs for the surface, but because of the driverless trucks, they've replaced a lot of people and now all the jobs are underground. The other thing that's happened too is that the lithium price has taken a hit and the nickel price has taken a hit. So that's meant that there's two big areas of the industry that are no longer looking for people, and that's going to feed in a bit to our viewers' question as well. So if we go over and we have a look at the gold price, so it's over $4,600 Australian, and it's $2,950 US, so it's at record prices. That's why everybody's going crazy everywhere. Iron ore's holding firm at about 107, but like we talked about before, it's going to bounce between that 80 and 120. That's the prediction moving forward. But also, like we said before, iron ore's probably not the best place to be looking for a well-paid mining job, considering they've replaced everybody with driverless trucks. And then we move over to the coal mining side of things, and coal, unfortunately, is just still down around that $100 a ton mark. And at $100 a ton US, people are, mines are going to struggle, unfortunately. And the other thing that's going to happen in coal that's happened in iron ore is that they're going to automate it all. Everywhere that they can automate, they're going to automate, because that's just the smart thing to do to make the most money possible. So they're the issues with surface at the moment, unfortunately, is the automation and lithium and nickel going down. And if we move on to our map of Australia, this is our map of Australia with all the copper and gold mines loaded up on around it. So this is where you should be targeting for your jobs. And as you can see, there's mines in every state in Australia that are looking for people. So let's move on to our viewers' question. It's on the video that I did the other day, and we've got it high. I've been watching your videos for a few years now. I obtained all the relevant licenses, such as my HRB license. I have not bought the training package, but I'm interested in surface exploration drilling. I consume a lot of content around geology and technical aspects of drilling, like logging core samples, etc. I haven't had any luck in regards to landing an Offsiders role. Maybe I'm too old, turned 36 this year. You're not too old, okay? So you're not too old, but the other thing too is that I wouldn't be advertising anybody's age on a resume, and it doesn't matter how old or young you are, it's not a good idea to put your age on your resume. So that's one thing. And you do have stories of people over 30 who've gotten starts in the industry. Yes, we have lots of stories of people over 30 that have gotten starts in the industry. So the big thing about what's going on with what's happening at the moment in the industry, like I said before, you've got a definite problem with lithium and nickel. That's really hurt the exploration side of things. There was a lot of lithium exploration going on and a lot of nickel exploration going on around the country. All that's been basically shit canned over the last 6 months, and that's why if you flick over to the drillers Offsiders roles, you'll see that the majority of them, there's still surface ones. So if you put drillers Offsider into Seek, there's still a few surface ones around, like that one there, but the majority of them are for underground, because the underground is where they're chasing the gold and the copper at the moment, and that's where the big prices are, and that's where they need the people. So I know this isn't solving your problem, I'm just trying to explain what's going on. So to solve your problem, my suggestion would be to have a look at doing the DIY training package. It's $495. It teaches you everything the employers want to know, and it goes into it all. And the reason that I say that is if you come over to the Wall of Fame page, and these are all the people that have gotten jobs, but if we scroll down, you'll see there's a few people that have gotten jobs that have, so here's one, there's Kerry, who's got himself a job on a truck, but Kerry was in his mid-60s, so that's age-wise. Ben got a job there. Where am I going down to here? Natalie got a job on the surface truck driving in New South Wales, and she used the DIY training to do it. The reason why I say do the training is because the training teaches you all the rules that you've got to know to work on a hard rock mine site. And with these drillers offsiders jobs on the surface that you're going for, where you're landing is a hard rock mine site. So you've got to know all these rules. And so if you go in knowing all these rules, then it makes it a lot easier to get the job. And that's how these people got jobs. And if you come down here a bit further, you can see all the people that have gotten jobs over the years. There's lots. And here we go. Tim used the job to get himself an Offsiders job on the surface. So there's lots of that. And if you scroll down further, you'll see there's a guy called Scott that got himself a job doing it the same way on the surface. And Jack got himself a job on the surface. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see we've been doing this for a long time. And some of the people that got jobs go back to, 2019 and 2018 at the bottom. And there's lots of jobs, lots of people giving their feedback. So this is 2021. You keep on going down, 2020, 2019, 2018. Lots of jobs around. And if you scroll through, you'll be able to see that all these people have gotten jobs. And the reason that I say do the training is because when the foreman or the project manager or whoever's hiring you is looking at your resume, you either know something about mining or you don't. And if you've got the training on the resume, it means that you know something about mining. And whatever it is, you can lever that to pivot into a driller's offsiders job on the surface. And it's worth doing like these components of each bit of the course that is going to help you with that driller's offsiders job, like scaling and putting polypipe together and safety meetings and tag boards and firing times and all that sort of stuff. While surface diamond drillers don't necessarily have to, or surface exploration drillers don't necessarily have to deal with firing times all that often. It depends on where you are. If you're in the area, the location that they're firing in the appropriate distance, then you'll have to deal with that and you'll have to get out when they fire and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, just knowing how it all works, it just gives the employer a good point to ask you a bunch of questions and test you on how it's going. So my advice to you would be to spend that the $4.95 and do the training and educate yourself, like the technical side of how it all works, so the theoretical side, so you can engage in that conversation with the employers. And I also would not only start looking for the surface jobs, but I'd also pivot into the underground jobs as well, because that's where the majority of the work's going to be at the moment. Because I'm going to do a video with Jess about this tomorrow, but we're at the stage now where, because the gold price is so high and the copper price is so high and the nickel and lithium and a few other things are so low, that everybody's pivoting back into where they're making the most money. And the easiest way to make the most money at the moment is to turn all the old open pits that weren't viable to go underground 10, 15, 20 years ago into underground mines, because they're all viable now at $4,500 an ounce Australian. And that's the easiest way to make the money. And I've done videos on this before with the way they drill out after they finish the pit. Most companies know what's 50 metres below the bottom of the pit, and if you know what's 50 metres below the bottom of the pit, that's your first couple of levels, and if there's enough gold there to kick it all off, that's what they're doing. And that's why they need the diamond drillers to keep it all going, and that's why they need the underground workers. And so you still go for the surface jobs, but I would look at pivoting into trying for a driller's offsiders job underground, just till things come back in nickel and lithium, which will happen in the next 12 months, and lithium and nickel will pick back up again, and gold will still be strong, and then it'll go really fucking nuts when nickel and lithium start to pick back up. Because at the moment, everybody that was working in lithium and nickel have pivoted into gold, and they still need lots of people in the gold mines. They still don't have enough experienced people. So once the lithium and nickel mines go back from care and maintenance back into production, they are really going to be short of people. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, and I'm happy that you can do it. And Mike's in there. Mike, that's Mike the Sparky there. He's definitely not too old. And Mike's a good example of using the training to go and get a job that's the training's not necessarily designed for, like the Sparky, and there's a few auto Sparkies and a few fitters that have used the training to get a job. And it's exactly the same way that you'd be using the training to get a job if you're going for an Offsiders job on the surface. The training, while it's not specific for the Sparky role or an auto Sparky role or a fitter role on the surface, it's teaching you that whole mining cycle and how it all works and what everybody does. So it gives you that good knowledge that the employer can engage with you in and talk to you about how it all works. And when you can answer those questions, that's what gives them the confidence to hire you. So I hope that answers your question. And if you come over to Seek and you type underground in, we'll just have a quick look at all the jobs. And as you can see, there's pace crew and nipper, entry-level underground mining, drillers offsider, nipper, service crew, underground truck, drillers offsider underground. See, all these ones are all good ones that you should go for. And if you're worried about working underground, you've actually got more chance getting hurt on the surface than you do in a hard rock underground mine these days. It's not something that the surface people like to talk about, but it is very true. So there's lots of jobs, lots of entry-level jobs all the way through that you can apply for. But the best thing is to educate yourself. Do one of the packages. If you want your resume done, the 3-step plan package is a really good package to do with Jess. If you need help with it all, then the work ready one's good because you get the shift boss like myself. But most people just do DIY. There's full instructions on how to redo your resume and interview prep. And if you're chasing one of the surface offsider roles, like our viewer is, then yeah, it's a good thing sometimes to get your resume professionally done, just to target those roles as well. But yeah, you've got everything there. You're not too old. People have been a lot older than that have gotten jobs doing that job. But like I said, I'd take your age off the resume just to make sure that that's not an issue. And the other thing I'd do is the training to educate yourself, to show them that you've done everything you can to learn as much as you can about how it all works, because that's what they're after. They're after people that they can throw in the deep end that knows what's going on. And thank you for the support over the years, and I hope that answered your question. And if you could share this video around and like and subscribe the channel. Thanks.